Hello, 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 and welcome to all. Tonight we're going to be doing something truly special. My name is Todd Hershey, and this is another one of the classes in metaphysical and spiritual development and understanding. And tonight we're going to be doing a very special class called The Very Special You, which is an homage to a very special lady I know who happens to be my mom. And she actually had a class called The Very Special You. And I was thinking about that the other day, and I was thinking about what makes a person special. What makes somebody unique and different and better than all the rest? Now, some people can be special good, and some people can be especially bad. So tonight we're going to take a look at what makes something good, what makes something bad, and what you can do to choose how you want to be special in this life. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the principles of this. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to take this document right here, which is our metaphysical or transformational pyramid. And with this, we've always been able to go ahead and explain to you all the different things as to how and why things happen, what's going on in your life, different things like that, how to be happy, sad, all that good kind of stuff. But tonight, we're going to expand this pyramid. We're going to actually give it another section on the bottom. So we have the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Now what we're going to have is we are going to have this, which is the bottom half, which is the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And this is the good stuff right down here. This is energy, form, being, resistance, and fusion. This is what we're going to be working with tonight. This part of the metaphysical pyramid is something that gets very complex. So I figure if 5% of you are able to still stay attached and keep going at the end of this, I think I've won, because it's going to get deep into the ideas of how and why and what makes a person special and how you also can be special. So we're going to take the first part, which is the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual world. That's the three-dimensional world. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at what's happening in the four-dimensional world. The four-dimensional world is energy, form, being, resistance, and fusion. Whereas there are 4 keys in the three-dimensional world, there are 5 keys in the four-dimensional world. Once you are able to master these 5 keys in the fourth dimensional world, you can lock any door at any time in a three-dimensional world. Okay? So this formula that we're going to go through tonight will work on particles of sand and work on solar systems. Size, distance, that matters. Okay? Some of this stuff that you'll be looking at tonight will be very, very impactful, both from a societal, political, and economic standpoint. And it also will show you how and why the great masters were the great masters, whether you were, I don't know, Pompey of Rome or you were Leonardo da Vinci. It all comes from the same place for the same reason, and you are going to get those secrets tonight. All right, so as we know, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, so earth, water, fire, air, north, south, east, west, up, down, in, out. It's also kind of, when we look at this, it's also something of the idea that it's forwards and back, side to side, up and down, and time. So that's the idea of 4. Each one is equally important. But when we go into a fourth dimension reality, we lose time. Time is not existent here, which is why, if you die, then it can be a blink of an eye, is 150 years here, or, it's one of those things where a moment can last 150 years. One of the things that time does not do in a fourth dimensional reality is it doesn't hang you up. There's no thread of time. In time, you have 5 keys. Those 5 keys are energy, form, being, resistance, and fusion. And the way it goes is it goes like this. Energy it comes into being, it faces resistance, and the interplay between being and resisting creates a fusion. Okay, so let's do a couple of examples of energy, form, being, resistance, and fusion. Energy, I'm going to write a novel. Form, I actually take the next several months and I'm at my desk. The form I'm taking is writing a novel. Being, I send my novel off and they publish it. Resistance, the critics love it. The critics hate it. It's derogatory. It's derivative. It's this, it's that. The being and the resistance between that which is and that which is not is basically going to give you a fusion of the two things. For example, let's say my energy is going into getting bigger, getting stronger. That's the energy. My thought energy is going to be, hey, I'm going to get stronger. The form I take is to go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning and lift a bunch of weights. So what am I doing? I'm being athletic. I'm being in my future. I'm eating proteins. I'm lifting weights. And what is the resistance in this case? The resistance in this case is several things. One, nobody really at 6 o'clock can go to work out. They say they do, but most of us really don't. I mean, we'd rather be sitting on a beach in Maui and sipping Mai Tais. Part is that you can lift the weights. The weights act as resistance to that which you are being. Now, once you are in a state of being active with the weight, the resistance of the weight creates a fusion and it gives you more muscle. So energy takes a form, comes into being, faces resistance, fusion. Energy, I'm going to get bigger. Form, I'm going to the gym. Being, I'm lifting weights. Resistance is the weight itself. The fusion, I get bigger. I get stronger. I get more muscles. Okay? That's pretty clear. So let's start taking a look at the different parts here. Let's take a look at energy first. We'll start with energy. All right, energy, the form is usually electrical, but it can be feelings, thoughts, plans. All of these things be positive and all of these things can be negative. So energy can be both positive and negative. It can be one of those things in which it's the idea is that you're going to have energy. And is that energy going to be helping other people? Is that energy going to be helping? Is what you're going to be doing helping other people? Is what you're going to be doing hurting other people? All of these have different forms of energy. And energy, once it gets going, is a very hard thing to stop. Okay? Most of us have a problem with a lack of energy, especially as we grow older. Energy tends to ebb and flow. In our youth, we have a lot of energy. As we get older, we have less energy. However, that said, when we need to, we have the wisdom and experience of many years to take what energy we do have left, concentrate it, and use it in a way that is usually a lot more effective than when we were younger. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Now, the next one for all of you is going to be form. How does an energy take a form? Well, in the example we gave up we used weights. We used, it can be your body. It can be a political system. It can be a car. It could be fruit. It can be anything you want to. Energy will take a form. Sometimes it's the form of water. Sometimes it's the form of a rock. Sometimes it's an eagle. Anything you can form. Okay? Every form, me, these glasses, they're built from what? Energy. Energy takes a form. My name is Todd Hershey. This is the form of Todd Hershey. Okay? Now, these forms can be positive, again, and these can be negative. All right, so you are seeing a tank roll down the street. A tank, if he's on your side, is a very positive thing. If he's not on you, it can be a very negative thing. It can be very terrifying. So usually forms are dependent. Some people love the form of a tuxedo. Other people are terrified of it. Some people are terrified of public speaking, but that's a form of expression. So energy and form together. All forms are made of energy. All energy does not have to take a form, okay? But when it does, it usually is there for a bit. All right, moving on to being. How are you going to be? In our example, we used working out. You could also vote. You could be eating fish. It's one of those things where it's an action word. And so what we're doing is we're using it kind of like in which, you have something doing something. It could be a bear hibernating, okay? A bear, the energy of a bear, energy becomes a bear gets to winter. That form is going to take, it's going to be hibernating. That's what it's going to be being, okay? And that's going to be a very cool thing for the bear because the bear needs to sleep. Again, you can be positive and negative. You can be authentic and genuine, or you can be putting on a show. How you're being is either going to be for either a barter, in which you're trying to get something for doing something, or a genuine kind of expression of who you are. If you are going to be special, you need to have your energy taking a form that is unique and comfortable to you, being in a way that is actually providing some sort of benefit to yourself and the world around you. Very rarely are special people saying, I, me, my, I want, I'm. I hear people say that I'm the greatest. I hear people say that this is the great. It's bullshit. Don't fall into that. That's not what you want to do. If you're going to be special, you have to identify your own energy. To do that, we're going to get into that a little bit later, but finishing off this, resistance. Resistance is the weight. If you're being birthed, let's say you're a baby, your energy comes through, you say you come down from heaven, your energy comes into the form of a little baby, and you're being born. Is there some resistance in being born? Yes, there's a lot of resistance, a lot of fighting, a lot of struggle. In order to create something special, there's usually some form of struggle. And if there's not, there's usually years and years and years and years of doing it when there was struggle, and now you can do it easily. After your 350th air conditioning unit that you fixed, it's pretty standard. It's pretty stock. You know how to do it. It's easy. The resistance is minimal because the experience of being has happened so many times that now it's just second nature to you. That's the idea of resistance. You can also have other types of resistance. One form of resistance that I'd like to talk about is PTSD. And there are some really good people out there who are struggling because what they were being was genuine and authentic, and they were helping their country. And they took the form of energy of being in a military that protected this country. And what they dealt with at the time is still within their energy. That energy of a place will stay with you. And I'll explain to you how that works in a second. But there's all kinds of resistance. Childbirth, habits, breaking habits, resisting habits, obsessive compulsiveness, what society thinks about you, wearing white after Labor Day. All these stuff, all this stuff can be considered resistance. Good, bad, or indifferent, it just is. And for you right now, you have to ask yourself, what part of my life do I resist? Because when you look at your resistances, a lot of them we create ourselves through our own belief systems. And those things that we need to kind of let go of, and that's what the other pyramid was for. And we'll explain to you more about that later. Fusion, the combo of being and resistance. Okay, so fusion is basically when we talk about big muscles. We went to the gym. When we were holding our child, we gave childbirth. Okay? You can have a legacy that is a fusion of all the places and all the people and all the things that you did will basically create your legacy. And that's a fusion of experiences, of being here, being there, being this way, in this situation, and providing this kind of energy. So energy takes a form, it comes into being, it faces resistance, and basically there's a fusion. Now, sometimes the fusion is grand and glorious, and sometimes the fusion gets torn up and thrown on the floor. Sometimes you create the Mona Lisa, sometimes you create Mozart, sometimes you can create anything you want. Anything that happens here in the physical, emotional, mental, or the spiritual world has a direct relationship with this line below it. And oops, my apologies, folks. Turn this off. All right, there we go. Much better. All right, so anything that happens in the physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual world is basically because of anything that physical world is because of something that happened in the spiritual world. Now, the spiritual world, as you can see, has the 5 keys. Now, let's say I want to change something mentally. I'm depressed. I'm bored. I'm unhappy. This sucks. Life sucks. Ask yourself the question, what energy are you hanging around? Are you always watching some newscast that's blasting the other side, how stupid, how horrible, how bad they are, and then going around a bunch of people who are negative? And what is that form? Does that form take a direct path to your subconscious? Yeah, probably if you're looking at Facebook or Fox News or MSNBC, because they're actually doing algorithms and they're actually having people on staff to make sure that you press likes and clicks and saying the most horrible and awful things possible so that you keep your eyeballs glued to the screen. So if you're having mental problems and being depressed, energy, I'm surrounding myself, taking the form of negativity. And is that why I'm being so upset, so negative, so many problems? You're going to find out that it's going to be very difficult to quit that once you get going in it. Just like it's very difficult to quit drinking coffee after you get going, or alcohol, or drugs else. The resistance is you get a high from this stuff. It's like, oh my God, my endorphins are just kicking off. I'm pissed. I'm this, I'm that. Okay. You get to also feel superior. You get to also feel a number of different things, too many to list. And basically what's happening is that there is now a fusion going on. Okay? Is you know that you can't kill half the country and send them away. But there's a television show telling you that you need to. And mentally, it's causing you and the gas on your car at the same time while jamming the emergency brake as hard as you can, up as high as it'll go. And that's the problem. So you are having problems mentally. Ask yourself, what's the energy I'm around? If it's basically unhappy, get to some happy energy. What is the form is it taking? Is it taking something healthy? Are they saying positive, direct things? Or is it taking the form of lies and things like lies where people are spewing things that are easily shown to be false? Get away from it. Okay? Why? Be there. That is not who you want to be. Energies and actions become being. All right? Which means that everyone has an energy. And through the actions they take, that is who they are being. And who a person is being through their actions, that is their energy. That is them. If they tell you it's, oh, no, I'm not this, I'm something else, bullshit. When you see who they are, believe them. When they tell you who they are, basically see, does what they say react well with what they're doing? Because if it's split, then no, get the hell away. All right, let's do something a little bit more helpful. Let's say I want to lose weight. Okay, I want to lose 10 pounds. All right, so I'm going to have to use my energy to take a form. That's going to be diet, that's going to be exercise. And how am I going to be being? Well, I'm going to eat less. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to eat maybe not as many greasy fried things, more leafy vegetable things. What is my resistance to that? My resistance is leafy vegetable things suck. I hate leafy vegetable things. I like fried chicken. Well, guess what? I love fried chicken. If I could put pizza and fried chicken together and just like wrap fried chicken in pizza, throw it all in a deep fryer, I'd be happy. I love that stuff. But that stuff does not love me. And now that I'm getting older, I'm finding it does not love my arteries. So the resistance I face and the resistance that I have from, eating fried chicken and pizza is I want to fit into my clothes. So I want to lose weight. The energy is placed now into what? A schedule. I'm going to actually reach out and ask somebody to help me. The best way to use your energy is to reach out in a caring way. You'd be amazed at how much positive and caring energy comes back. The form that comes back in can be one of a bunch of different ways. The tricky part is that most people don't always acknowledge the form or like the form in which it comes through. Somebody asks you to dance, but they're not pretty enough or handsome enough. Oh, that sucks because you want to dance. Guess what? Go dance. Have fun. Enjoy. Hey, I can't run anymore, but I'll be happy to go for a walk with you if you want to lose weight. Yes. Thank you so much. You ever see a dog go say no to a walk? Not generally. They love to walk. Go walk. How are you being on your walk? That's going to be really important. You're going to be like, I hate my food. I miss my deep fried stuff. Or you're going to be in a different way. You're going to have a different mindset and think of yourself being healthy, losing weight because you have a wedding to go to, or the wedding is your wedding. Trust me, the being counts to you. Like, for example, being thin at the wedding, the stronger the energy and the form will be, and the less resistance. Now, there's a lot of resistance out there. People telling you you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're this, that, or the other thing. I don't know. I was always told I was not very smart. I was always told a lot of different things that were just crap. And you know what? I believed them. And in the back of my mind, there's still a little bit of that stuff left over in the ash heap, But you're going to have to break through your resistance. And the best way to break through that resistance is to accept the fusion. And accepting the fusion means that you are a combination of everything that has come before and everything that are. So in other words, even though I've let go a lot of the, hey, you're not good enough, hey, you're not smart enough, there's always going to be that little bit, as long as I compare myself to somebody else. As long as I let people, I let people tell me it, I believe. If I choose not to believe it, if I choose to say, I'm going to fuse that which is good, I'm going to take the positive energy in the form that people bring, and I'm going to be in a way that is going to be loving and caring back, then the resistance will basically be minimized. And then the fusion of what? Happiness, joy, mental stability, all good. And it's also going to bring me a lot more satisfaction too, especially it gets easier when you're physically trying to do something. For example, if you have 7, 8 friends at the gym in the morning, it's easier to go to the gym. If you don't know anybody, it's more difficult. It's always easier to suffer with a friend through things. It's always easier to hold somebody's hand when you're giving birth. All of these things make a difference. All right, so that's basically the energy taking form comes into being, then faces resistance, and then becomes fusion. Fusion is basically resistance and being coming together in a form of energy. It's a new form of energy. That which was is now that which is. You read a book. Energy, I'm going to get smarter. Form, I'm reading a book. Being, I'm now smart in 16th century poetry. The resistance was getting through the book because I don't speak French. Okay, but I got through it. And now I speak a little bit of French and I know some poetry. All right. That's how this works. The question that I have for you right now, and this is important, is what is your energy? Are you positive? Are you negative? Are you happy? Are you joyous? What's your energy? Are you kind? Are you loving? What is your energy? What form do you take it? Do you share that with everybody or only certain people? What is your form? What is your job? What is your body? What form are you taking based upon your energy? Are you being active, happy, joyous, going out there and being, somebody who goes to movies and goes to talk with friends and doing all that stuff? And are you being a friend to people? How are you being when you're with these people? Are you being a know-it-all? I'm great. I'm a narcissist. I'm going to just totally tell you about me and then overwhelm you with mine. If you are, you're going to face a lot more resistance. You will win over the weak and you will lose the strong. But if your energy takes the form of being kind, loving, joyous, gracious, valor, respect, your resistance will be much less and it'll be much easier to fuse with the right kinds of people. The only thing that you have to watch out for is fusing with the wrong people, getting with the wrong people, because those people will want to suck the life out of you. And to them, I say no. Just no. It's not happening. You go your way. Bye-bye. It's been nice. Love to stay. Gonna go. Okay? So if you're a little bit confused, ask yourself, what energy was I born with? What energy did I come into this? What was I as a kid? Was I strong? Was I weak? Was I outgoing or introverted? What forms did that take? Was I in the high school play? Was I sitting at home reading books? What form? And when I would go out and do things, how was I being with people? Was I being kind? Was I being generous? Was I sharing with them? Was I doing all the different things that, I really wanted to do and how I wanted to do it? And what was the response that you got? Resistance is a great way to check if what we're doing is working or not. Energy, I'm going to get really big and muscular. The form I'm taking is I'm going to put about 700 pounds on a bar. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick it up. So I'm basically being an idiot. And the resistance of the weight tells me what? I'm being an idiot because the only thing I got, the fusion of that, was a hernia. So you can see how that will work. Now, that being said, you have to ask yourself, what did you come into the world with? Because that will tell you why you were born. And why you were born is very important because you are unique. There's only one of you. And you need to figure out what energy you want to create in this world and what form it's going to take, because that's the being that you are. And there will be plenty of people to tell you that is not what's good or what's right. You should be this or you should be that. And you have to be strong enough to overcome that. And you have to be strong enough to see where they're coming from. And there's always that interplay between being and resistance that will create that fusion in you to where you can now see it and just go, no. You may have dated the wrong person for 5 years and then the wrong person for 2 years and the wrong person for 6 months. And you just meet that same person and you just look at them and go, nope. Because at that point, your resistance is futile. There is no resistance because where you're going to be is like, nope, sorry, not happening. Already done this. The bad things are already fused into me. I've already seen these. I've already done these, and I don't need them anymore. Now, ask yourself, what do you think that's missing in the world? Is it comfort? Is it political correctness? Is it more pasta? Is it more wine? Ask yourself, what do you think that's missing in the world? Because whatever you think that is what makes you special. You get to be special because you get to share with the world what you believe, your energy, and the form that it takes. And that's the being that you are. If you need a heaven to be a good person, I got bad news for you. You are not a good person. You have energy. The purpose of your energy is for it to take a form. When that form exists, then it's up to you to go out and share it and to be an example of that energy. And you will get a shitload of resistance because people hate when you change. They like the old you. They don't know what to do with the new you. But that's not on them. That's on you. Let them deal with their shit. It's on you to stay to be the new person. Okay? Um, I guess in my mind, the world is looking for a bunch of new things. Kindness, um, openness. A couple things I would like to see would be more openness, more see-through in our political systems, clarity, judgment, kindness. These are all out there for you. Now, we're going to spend about 10 seconds on what happens after you die, because that's going to be a special thing. What happens after we do this one? What happens after you die is that your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual world all become what? A new form of energy that will take a form in a being that has to get through certain things that it has to understand, and then there will be a fusion. So for the next time we do this, we're going to explain to you something called unified field theory, unified spiritual theory of everything. And it deals with the idea of going between these two worlds, between the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual world, third dimension, into the fourth dimension, which is energy, form, being, resistance, and fusion, and back and forth, and how you go back and forth, and how you are physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually will affect the energy of who you are, and how that energy is brought back into the physical world, because it's going to take a form and it will have emotions. It will be an emotional being, as most people are. It will have a mental resistance, in which everybody does, and it will be your spiritual quest, nature, mission to fuse your energy with the world around you. Okay, that's it for tonight. You gave me 33 minutes, and as always, I appreciate it. I hope you have fun listening tonight. If you have any questions, please let me know at Todd@Todd.Hershey. Please feel to click, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And if there's anything else, please let me know. Take care and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.